Well, it's Mike from Dimensional Walking. Today I'm going to do a video and I'm going to title this one The Time Machine, A Journey Through Time and Montauk. Okay, so here we go. The Time Machine is a device that allows people to travel through time. It is a staple of science fiction, of course, but it is also a concept that has been explored by scientists for many years. Okay, and we're going to talk about a little bit of both science fiction and a little bit of naked science. So the idea of time travel has been around for centuries, but it really became popular, I guess, in the Western world in 1885 with the novel The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. And this was about a time traveler that traveled forward in time to the year, I think it was like 2000, I'm sorry, 8002 702, 701, I think it was. So that's like that's like 80,000 years in the future. Okay, I don't know where he got that number. I'm sure he explains it somewheres. I have never read why it was at that point, but I'm sure somebody will clarify that for me along the way. So the novel, of course, was a huge success and helped popularize the concept of time travel since many other authors and film makers have explored this idea. Some of the most famous examples, of course, recent examples, of course, is uh, Back to the Future, The Terminator, the Time Traveler's Wife. Uh, so there is a bit of a science, of course, to time travel. Um One of the sciences, one of the most promising, of course, there's all these theories, and one of the most promising theories, I think, possibly, is based on wormholes. So wormholes are theoretical tunnels that can connect two different points in space-time. Okay? If a wormhole could be created, it is possible to travel through it. Okay, if it could be created, of course. Another theory is time travel is based on an idea of a closed time-like curve, or the scientists call it the CTCs. So they're a hypothetical pass through time, space-time that would allow an object to travel back in time. Okay. The challenge now there is challenges, of course. There's huge challenges in time travel. Even if time travel was possible, there are a number of challenges that would have to be overcome. One of the challenges is a problem called paradoxals. Okay, a paradox is a situation that leads to a contradiction. For example, if a time traveler went back in time and killed their grandfather, then they would never have been born. Okay, that this is a paradox that would prevent time travel from even happening, even being possible. Okay. Another challenge in time travel is the problem of causality, uh, ca- casuality. It is a relationship with a cause and effect. If a time travel went to go back in time and change the past, he could unforeseen change consequences in the future. Okay, sort of, I guess, sort of like the same thing as killing your grandfather in in the past. Obviously, not now, but if he traveled in back. So there's a future in time travel. Despite the challenges, scientists continue to explore time travel. It is possible that one day we'll be able to build a time machine and travel through time. However, if time travel is never possible, the concept of time travel will continue to be a source of fascination in many people. Okay? So some scientists believe that time travel is possible, but not yet possible to build that machine. Okay? I'm leading up to something here. Okay? Time travel could have a number of potential benefits, such as the ability to travel in the future to see what the world would be like. Okay? Maybe some positive things it could be like, or it could be very miserable there. Who knows? The concept of time Time is a reminder of our power of human imagination and the potential for the future. So, the concept of time travel is a reminder of the power of the human imagination and the potential for the future. Okay, I just wanted to repeat that because that's important. Okay, so if we went to the future and we saw that it was really bad and we know the reasons why it became really bad, we could come back in theory and we could try to correct those things for the future. Okay, right? Or if we go to the future and find out everything is really wonderful and great for humanity, then we could just probably just leave things alone and just enjoy our life, our present life, and move on from there. So, so that gets me to an interesting. It gets me to something called the Montauk Project. Okay, I've done research on the Montauk Project for many years. Okay, um, so it's very controversial. I'll give you some brief stuff about it. Uh, and the theory is that the U.S. government conducted secret experiments in time travel and mind control in the former Camp Hero military base in Montauk, New York. Okay, are you with me? The theory has been popularized in books and documentaries, of course, but it is important to note there's no scientific evidence to support that. Okay, I'm just saying that as a disclaimer. Okay, like I said, I've done a lot of my own personal research in it, and I will go on and tell you more. The Montauk Project conspiracy originated in the 1980s with the publications of such books as the Montauk Project, Experiments in Time by Preston Nichols and Peter Moon. The book claims the U.S. government conducted these experiments uh, that allegedly conducted using a device called the Montauk chair. And it was a chair, but it also was kind of an egg-shaped uh, vehicle. Okay, that's the way it's been described to me from the people that actually got in it. Uh, which was said to be able to control minds and send you back in the future, back in time. Okay, and it also goes forward too. It does go forward up to 5,000 years in the future. They don't always mention that, but that's what it was. Despite the lack of evidence, Montauk Project continues to be obviously popular, is often cited as evidence of government cover-up of the secret experiments in time travel and mind control. Uh, One of the central claims of the Montauk Project conspiracy is the U.S. government built this time machine and alleged it was used to go back in time and go forward in time. Actually, it did both to get information or possibly influence historical events. Okay. And again, there's no evidence. Um, so is it true? It's been widely criticized, of course, by historians and scientists because they claim there's no it's inconsistent story. It's no evidence. I found the opposite. It was a pretty consistent story with all the participants that I talked to. Uh, so here's my conclusion on it. The Montauk Project obviously is a fascinating conspiracy theory that raises many questions about the nature of reality and its limits of human knowledge. However, it is important to remember, again, there is really no overly scientific stuff. Uh, well, that's in the public realm. Okay, there is no scientific evidence in the public realm, but there's plenty if you do your digging. There's plenty of evidence there. Okay, so I have spent, I believe it to be true. I believe there is some truth. There's nuggets, many nuggets of truth, because I've spent much time talking to the principal characters in the project, including several long interviews with Al Bielek. And if you don't know Al Bielek, look him up. Okay. So, like I say, I had the opportunity to. Al is probably one of the smartest people on earth. He's no longer with us. He's probably time traveling somewhere in the universe. Um, and I do believe, to some degree, there is quite a bit of truth in this whole time travel thing, and I think that's part of it. I think time travel is a real thing. And like I say, I've talked to many of the principals and the characters and people that were in the time machine. Um, and I believe it to be true. I believe at least part of it to be true. I cannot confirm all of it, but I really believe there are really parts that make the Montauk Project time travel true. So, with that said, happy trails. Let's see you in the future. Bye bye.